Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to That Model Railway Guy, and yeah, welcome to a live stream. I haven't done one of these for a while. This is only the second live stream that I've done, but yeah, I figured we'd do another one because it's been so long. And yeah, well, basically, I said last time I do this, the first time I did a live stream, it was because I hit 200 subscribers. And I sort of jokingly said, "Oh, maybe we'd do another one when we got to 300 subscribers." And then about a month ago, my channel really took off, in a small way, admittedly. You know, it's not grown huge yet, but you guys have been fantastic the last few months. We've blown past 300 subscribers, past 400 subscribers. We're now over five. I think we're at 560, something like that. Yeah, we're rapidly approaching 600. So I thought I'd better do a live stream for 500 subscribers before it gets out of hand. So hello, welcome to the celebration of reaching 500 subscribers, and yeah, I hope you enjoy tonight's little live stream thing. Basically, as you can see, I've got Pickwick Yard here. We've got a few different cameras set up, so we've got this one here, which is sort of the main point work area. We've also got, if I flip to this screen, you can see on the sort of the head shunt area, we have another camera there, which is currently focused on the rather lovely Hatton's P class in the SECR green. That's a fantastic run a little there. Oh, we've got some people in the chat. Hello everybody. Hello Xander Day. Hello McMetro. Xander Day says, "I love your reviews." Oh, fantastic. I'm glad you enjoyed the reviews. There's plenty more of those coming in the future. And yeah, I can see the chat tonight, so if you have any questions or anything like that you want to ask, or just generally want to chat, feel free. I am sort of keeping an eye on it. There is a little bit of a delay, so if I don't mention it straight away, it's because, you know, it takes a while to get to me, and then it takes a while to get back to you. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yes, cameras. So we've got this camera here with the SECR P class there, and then right at the other side of the layout, over in the sort of the factory sidings, we've got this little bit here, and then we've also got a sort of a close up on the signal box as well. That's similar to this shot here. It's just a slightly closer version of it. But then if I get bored of switching cameras, we can switch to that, and you can see all the different things there together. So yes, I do hope you enjoy this live stream. Obviously, because it is live, things are going to go wrong probably. I'm not as filtered as I normally am in an edited video. So yeah, hopefully this will all go well, and even if it doesn't, I hope it's at least entertaining for you. So Xander Day says, I helped him decide what chassis he wanted to use for his fictional engine. Oh, fantastic! That's great. Which one was that then? What did you go for in the end? And tell me more about a fictional engine. Freelance stuff is really interesting. So yeah, definitely interested in hearing more about that. McMetro says, "Do I like modern model railways?" Yeah, I'm not against them. Personally, my interest is more in steam. I enjoy steam engines. But I mean, I would say actually that, depending on where you feel about how you feel about heritage railways, I would sort of say that they're modern-ish. Do they count as a modern railway? I like heritage model railways, and I mean, if you put a model train set or a model railway of any sort in front of me, I'm happy, I'm good. So, it doesn't matter whether it's got a steam on it or whether it's got, the latest super duper. I'll be honest, I don't know as much about diesel electric and the modern stuff as I do about the steam engines. And to be honest, what I know about the steam engines is limited. So I'm sure most of you guys are going to be experts or in comparison to me. Well, Xander Day says the Midland 1F. Ah, fantastic. Yeah, that is a lovely little loco. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me tonight, which is really annoying. Otherwise, I would have run it for you. But yeah, that's a lovely little loco. And if you haven't seen that review, by the way, which is the one that I'm mentioning, you can go and see all those videos on my site. Ian says good evening. Oh, hello, Ian. Good to see you. Good to have you in the chat. Metro says, "I think you could put heritage down as modern." Yes, we'll go with that then, yes. Fantastic. Right, well, before I just waffle on all night, I will get some trains running, because that's kind of what we're all here to see. You want to see trains running, I want to see trains running. I don't really have a plan for tonight other than to just sort of run some stuff and just kind of shuttle things around, but we'll go for about an hour. Now I will say that I don't have any none of the points are motorized on this layout, so you will see the hand of God come in every so often like you did just then. So we'll get this little P class moving, shall we? I do love this. The reason I use this in my live streams is because it is a fantastic little loco, a really good runner actually. so I imagine it'll let me down tonight. And but actually, as you can see, it's running really lovely and slowly. Yeah, just coming into the factory siding now, and we shall pause that there. Ian says, would I run something like a Class 03 diesel shunter? I don't have a Class 03, unfortunately. My diesel repertoire is pretty low, to be honest. But I tell you what I do have, which I shall bring into shot in a moment. I'm literally just putting it on the track now, actually, so that I can get it ready for you. It's not quite a Class 03, unfortunately. It's quite a bit smaller, so my apologies for that. But if we swap to this camera here... oh, I've just remembered it's got to exit the fiddle yard first, so there's a bit of a delay as it runs out of the fiddle yard. But here we have, just coming into your shot any second now, hopefully, we have, it's the Ruston 48DS. Yeah, there we go, the lovely little Hornby one. I imagine everyone's probably bored of seeing this. I'll just stop it there for a bit, actually, just so you can have a little look at it. Is it, can I see it on the close-up? Oh no, it's just slightly out of shot. Tell you what, we'll... There we go. I'm trying to do this on the screens that I can see, but actually it's everything's a little bit delayed, so I have to keep remembering to look at the logo in the actual shot in real life as opposed to on the screens. Right. By the way, hello to everybody who is watching. Yeah, I mean, I sort of wasn't really expecting anybody to tune in, but we do seem to have some people actually watching. So hello to everybody. I'm very appreciative that you want to spend your Thursday evening watching me play with my train set, basically. I call this a train set because I don't really think of it as a proper model railway, because there's lots of people out there who can do much better modelling than I can. Yeah, and on that sort of on that vein, tell you what, we'll as I talk about this, we'll get the Ruston 48DS running. Oh, of course it's stalled because I've left it on the Insel frog point. Here we go, hand to God. Boop, there we go. Right, we'll get it moving again. And that's just sort of, you can't really see it because of the P-class. Yes, the P-class, as lovely as it is going to get out of the way now, because we want to look at the Ruston 48DS. So we'll do a nice slow crawl away. Very, very good runner, the Hatton's P-class, which I said before anyway, didn't I? So, but yes, what was I talking about? Oh yes, so in case anyone's wondering, this live stream tonight is not replacing the usual Thursday video. So don't worry, you will still the usual Thursday video, the usual Sunday video. So don't worry, you still will be getting a video this Sunday. So don't worry about that. I better check the chat again, actually, because I keep kind of just ignoring it. Oh, everyone's saying yay diesel. Yes, fantastic. Oh, lots of lovely stuff. McMetro says static grass can make any train set a layout. Yes, I feel like that's true to a certain extent, actually. Static grass does seem to make everything look a hell of a lot better. So yes, that feeds sort of back nicely into what I was saying a minute ago. I'm just running another train out now, but it's being a bit of a pain, this one. It's not wanting to run properly, so no. Okay, right, never mind. We'll replace that with another engine. Sorry, just as soon as I get talking about something, everything goes wrong. Anyway, the Sunday video. Yes, I've got a very special video coming up this Sunday because I will be starting a brand new layout. So yeah, we're gonna and this one is going to be a proper layout. It's going to be you know, I sort of say that this the Pickwick yard here was kind of assembled more than anything else. This is very odd. Everything seems to have suddenly stopped working, which is a bit of a shame. Tell you what. Right, technical difficulties. Let me see if the Ruston will still run. Oh yes, the Ruston is still running. Okay, right, I'm just using dodgy engines then. Never mind, let's, tell you what, we'll put this one on. I promise I will actually get to talk about what I was intending to talk about in a minute. So, what was it that I was talking about? Oh yes, new layout. So yeah, this Sunday, the video that I've got coming out is going to be basically the start of a new layout. Yeah, it's going to be very, very exciting. I'm very excited about it, at least. as we have good old Austerity 060 coming into here, or a J94 as some people call them. I know there's the slight difference between the Austerity and the J94. Oh, I've hit the buffers there. Again, you can't really see anything in this shot, can you? Which is a bit of a shame. Yeah, so I must try to stop doing that. Perhaps this wasn't the best shot to use, but we'll cut to that one and see if we can see anything happening here. I'll bring the Ruston 48DS out again. I'm just going to call this the Ruston from now on because, yes, it's a bit of a mouthful to say all these different things. I've just realised that I've run these wagons out and I didn't actually mean to run them out. Oh well, I don't really have a plan for tonight anyway, so we'll see how all this goes. If anyone's wondering, by the way, these mineral wagons that I've got going at the moment, these are the ones that or one of the ones anyway, is the one that I built in the Dapple wagon video. Oh, that's the wrong shot. I want to go to that one. Fantastic. So I'm just going to check the chat again really quickly. Xandade says he doesn't just have a fictional engine, he's got a whole railway planned out. Oh, fantastic! So you're really going for it then, aren't you? That's fantastic. It's called. I'm terrible with Welsh names. He says it's called Clanfair. Is that what it's called? An 060T built in 1937. Fantastic. So is that a fictional engine that you've come up with yourself then? That sounds really cool. I'd like to know more about that because that sounds awesome. McMetro says, "Are you running DCC? Would you consider it?" No, this is on DCC. This is not on DCC at the moment. This is DC. I'm running off a Gauge Master Series D at the moment, which is an upgrade for me because I was previously using just a Hornby controller from like the 80s, which I was amazed actually managed to survive. Yeah, we'll do a bit more shunting. Actually, quite conveniently, that engine has left the wagons behind, so we'll run this into. Tell you what, actually, we'll do. We'll take this off into the other side now. I know you can't see it here, and watch out for the hand of God to come here. Anyway, DCC. Now, the garden railway that I have, if you've seen any of the G-scale videos that I've done, that does run on DCC. That's an LGB system. But it's recently packed up, which isn't great. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into getting another DCC system. And if I do, I think I might instead of just getting a DCC system for the G-scale stuff, I might very well look into getting something that can handle, just convert all the OO gauge stuff over as well. Oh, I've run this engine out and it's not connected to the wagons that I wanted. Right. Everything's going wrong as soon as I try to do it on camera. I tell you what, I'm just going to move away from the microphone ever so slightly, just so that I can faff around with some wagons. There we go. And we'll move this back in. So yeah, there's a very good chance, because I'm starting a brand new layout, and because the DCC system has packed up very recently, I might well try converting everything over to DCC. There's some locos that I know I will never convert over to DCC. They will always stay DC. So I'll always be a bit of a hybrid. And I think, to a certain extent, all the reviews I do, I'll still do on DC before I put a chip in them if I do that. I mean, as I say, all this is kind of like, it depends. It's all a bit up in the air at the moment. So I don't know. I imagine if I do, I'll do a video on it at some point. But yeah, I thought I'd never really go DCC. Or no, rather I did. I kind of thought that I probably would at some point, but I never really had any plans to do it. And now I kind of feel like this is the perfect time to do it because I'm starting a brand new layout. I need to get another DCC system anyway for the G-scale stuff. So yeah, hopefully we'll get something going with that soon. But we shall see. It's all a work in progress. Everything. I mean, to be honest, at the moment, the first thing I'm sort of worrying about is getting the new layout. I'm trying to be a little bit sort of. I don't want to spoil next week's or rather this weekend's video. So yeah, I don't want to say too much about it. Otherwise, there's no point in you going to watch the video. So we shall yeah, I do hope you enjoy that. But that's very much going to be the focus for the moment. Is getting the new railway kind of started at least. It's going to be a much bigger project than Pickwick Yard. It's definitely not a micro layout. I'll tell you that. I realise that you can't see this, but I actually am doing some shunting here. It's just that I keep forgetting to switch the cameras, which I realise doesn't help, considering that you're all watching on the cameras. But actually, if I just run this back into shot here, you can see that we do have the rather lovely Bachmann E1. This is, yeah, a little bit of a closer up shot there. I'm just going to look at the chat again very briefly as well, whilst we all admire the E1. Benton Rose says he's sorry he's late. Oh, I assume it's a he. Well, I don't know. Anyway, Benton Rose says, hi, all sorry I'm late. Don't worry, Benton Road. It's lovely to have you here now. You can dip in and out as much as you like. Fantastic. McMetro says he has to recommend the NCE power cab system. Oh yes, I've done a little bit of research, not a whole amount. I will say that one of the things I do like is I've looked at the Rocco Z21, I think it's called, or Z21. It's sorry to use the American version, but yes, it's the Z21. Oh, that engine really doesn't like running today. The reason I was looking at that is because I know it's got sort of quite a good wireless control. Sorry, I've got so much going on back here and trying to speak comprehensively at the same time. It's more than my tiny brain can handle. And trying to remember which loco I'm going to use next. Anyway, have we actually got an engine on the layout? Oh, yes, we do. Let's switch to this, and you can at least see the austerity. So yes, DCC systems. I'd looked at the Z21 because that's got a wire, like you can sort of use it wirelessly from your phone, I think, and that's quite handy for the garden railway because I don't really want to have wires running all over the garden if I can avoid it. So that's a potential contender. But I should definitely look at the NCE power cab as well, because that sounds very interesting with having lots of multiple ports to move the controller around. So yeah, especially if it can be used between different layouts as well. That's great. Fantastic. Yeah, as I say, DCC isn't really an area that I am familiar with at all. So it's definitely going to be very much a learning curve. I know the basics of it. Like I know you have to put a decoder in, and you know you can run more than one engine on a specific set of track without having to have isolating sections and all that. But yes, generally, it's a brave new world, I guess. So we shall see what happens. I mean, I say all this, and I'll probably end up just sticking to standard DC after all this, so I may never get around to it. But tell you what, I'll run in another loco now because we're all getting a bit bored of me chatting. This is the lovely Hornby J15. This is a fantastic little loco. I do love this, and I'm going to just move it into the shot slightly more there. Although it does start to go out of the shot a little bit. Hello everyone. Hello Eleanor1946. Benton Rose says I can call him Jack. Oh, hello Jack. Right, I should try to remember that. Fantastic. Oh, Xanderday says the E1 is one of the engines on his railway. Oh, fantastic. Well, they're very lovely little locos. The Bachmann engines I've found tend to be really good looking, but just ever so slightly not as good runners as the as Hornby ones I've found. Not by much, just I feel slightly more confident in Hornby engines. I mean, you know, that said, I'm comparing it right now to the J15, which I think is one of the best engines in my collection. So much so that I'm actually considering getting another one because they are very good. I'll have to do a review on these soon because it is fantastic. Metro says the NCE does have a wireless version. Oh, okay, that's cool. It may not be as convenient as the Z21. Well, we'll see. I mean, as I say, I need to do a lot of research, and it's going to be a while before I need to start worrying about DCC. And like I say, it may never even happen anyway. So don't be waiting around thinking that I'm going to do a video on DCC anytime soon, because it probably won't happen anytime soon. But yeah, that said, it's something that I'm sort of looking at mildly at the moment, so we shall see. LNER 1946 says he uses power cab. Oh, fantastic! So we're sort of getting lots of votes for the power cab. Then that sounds like it's an interesting way to go. Then it's definitely worth my attention. As I say, like, I'm sure there's all these kind of standard ones that everybody uses, and I mean, you know, any layout that I build, it's not going to be, you know, something super duper or super fancy. It's, you know, it's still going to be pretty basic. So you know, I don't really want to be spending a huge amount of money on something that, you know, I don't really need, just because it's fun. Ian says he loves shunting layouts. Once on his heritage. Oh, you're a driver. You work on a heritage railway, do you? Or once on your heritage. Which heritage railway is that then? You're driving you're an assistant on a class 14. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments here. He says the driver banged into the wagons and woke the guard up. Fantastic. In the brake valve, brilliant. Oh, fantastic. Well, I suppose, you know, not fantastic for the guard. I imagine he got a bit of a shock. Yes, tell you what, sorry, Hand of God coming in again, and I'm going to move the J50, because I quite want to use the J15 for something. I'm just sort of shuttling locos around at the moment, really. Because, you know, who'd have thought that it's actually quite difficult to talk and control trains at the same time, and also the cameras, and monitor the chat and everything. So on the Spa Valley Railway, that was. Oh, fantastic. Well, I was down there the other day actually for to see your new engine. Oh, that one's gone away. Hang on. There we go. Just run the J50. Yes, you've got Sir Keith Park there now, haven't you? I was down there the other day just to see that and have a bit of a ride as well. So yeah, there's a very good chance I may be joining you as volunteers there soon. So we shall see. It's my sort of nearest railway. It's not particularly local to me, but it's sort of as close as it can get to a railway. Angus Train says, "Hi, can I run Rocket?" I will do my best. It's in the other room, so there will be a little bit of a gap while I run to go and see it, or as I run to go and grab it. So yeah, tell you what, I'll go get that. No, tell you what, I shall run that in a moment for you. But what I shall do first is we'll get the Hatton's P-Class back out again, I think. We'll swap to this view so you can actually see it. And then at least then you have a chance to look at something while I'm rushing around in the other room. I've got a dodgy point in the fiddle yard here, which is not letting anything go over it. So that's why my things are sort of being a bit fussy tonight. I also don't have my little invisible uncouplers on the layout either, which is why I'm not really doing proper shunting. I'm just sort of shuttling everything around. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. There we go. I want that one. There we go. So, yes, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do a little bit of a... oh, there we go. Right, that's uncoupled now. Just pretend you didn't see that. McMetro says he has to go. Oh, see you, McMetro. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget you can still tune into this on the catch up afterwards if you want to, and there'll be another video on Sunday for you. So thank you for tuning in. Simo D says hello. Hello, Simo D. Simo D, something like that. Benton Rose says, what about Bluebell Railway or Tinkers Park? I've not heard of Tinkers Park. What's that one? Bluebell Railway, obviously, I do know. I was sort of under the impression that they have, or at least when I was talking to one of the guys there about a year ago, that they are sort of inundated with volunteers, and that I mean, it's such a sort of a well-established railway as well that I don't really think they need an idiot like me sort of getting in the mix and messing things up. So I sort of, not that Spa Valley Railway would be any better having me, but I sort of figured that I might well be of more use there. And I volunteered on railways before. When I was a teenager, I used to volunteer on the Empsey and Bolton Abbey Railway. Oh, that's shot off. Sorry, I'm just focusing on my cameras now. Hand of God again. There we go. Got to flip a few points. Xander Day says he has to go as well. Oh, sorry to hear that, Xander Day. Thank you for tuning in. Angus Train says he has a video idea for me. I could do a video on my model train collection. Oh, that's a good idea. Yes, that'd be like one of the Sam's Trains videos where he does his thing where he shows all the different engines that he has. Mine wouldn't be as long. And yeah, I definitely have to dig them out all from somewhere. But yeah, that could be a great. I might get onto that at some point. Oh no, I'm flipping things around again. Right, we'll get the P class just sort of into shot here, and then I'm going to run and go and get the rocket from the other room, and I'm going to try not to break it because it's very delicate. So yes, a moment of silence here, just while I run and go and get that. But you are going to be left with the P class in comparison, or with the P class to look at. So yeah, fantastic. Right, I shall be back momentarily. And we're back. Hello, did you miss me? Right, I've only got the engine. I'm not worrying about the coaches because life's too short, to be honest. Do you know what? I was setting up for this stream and I thought, should I bring the rocket in? It's not really right for this railway, but I bet someone will want to see it. And I thought, nah, it'll be all right. No one will request anything tonight. Benton Road was counting down 60, 50. Fantastic. Oh, that's made me laugh. Right. I suppose then in that case I better get this P class out of the way so we can have a look at the rocket, because we'll want to see that in close up, won't we? As that moves out of shot, we shall move to this. 14 seconds for Simo D says. Is that how long it took? Blimey, it felt much longer to me, I'll be honest. I had to sort of run to the other room. I've recently, because I've had a lot of trouble with my internet recently, and which is one of the reasons why I haven't done one of these live streams for such a while. But the reason that I haven't done one is because the internet has been so rubbish here, and the God just coming into the background there, and yeah, as a result, I didn't really want to risk doing a live stream and having it cut out halfway through. So anyway, as a result, I've now moved the railway for tonight into another room just so I can do this live stream. And we'll have a quick look here at the J15 again. This engine, I really can't tell you how much of a good runner it is. It's so smooth. It's an absolute joy to run this one, to be honest. The rocket is coming, by the way. Don't worry about that. What was I talking about? Oh yes, anyway, basically I've moved everything into another room so that I'm nearer to the Wi-Fi and I can plug directly into the Ethernet and all that. So hopefully everything is looking good on your end. I assume everything's good on your end. I presume that if it wasn't, somebody would have told me in the chat by now that I was making a fool of myself. But maybe you just all take that as a given these days. Right, we'll just move this out of the way. Just couple up to those wagons there. And that's just sort of nicely in the background of the shot. Right, okay, it's time for a rocket, I think. Just flip that point and let's get this out onto the layout. And I hope this performs well because I was raving about it in my review. And I'm so glad that I got this loco and that I didn't have any problems with it, because I know they were quite difficult to come by. But there you go, there is the rocket, just stopping in front of the signal box for you, and yeah, we'll take a little bit of a closer look on that. I should have probably figured out exactly where I needed to stop this in order to see this. Right, Benton Road says Tinkers Park is in Hadlow down near Uckfield. Oh, fantastic. Okay, well that's one I definitely need to check out then. Simo D says, are the buildings Metcalf kit bashed? Yes, they're Metcalf. They're not kit bashed in any way. They're just literally Metcalf kits. There's nothing special about them at all. Apart from the one, now I don't know if you can really see it in any of the shots. It's kind of in the background, just sort of roughly where the J15 is, that sort of building just beyond the sloped roofs. That is a scale model scenery low relief factory kit. So that's the only thing that's not Metcalf on here, apart from there's a box fan that grounded box fan just on the right of your screen now, to the right of the signal box, that is, I have no idea where that came from actually. That was built by my late grandfather. So yeah, that was just found in a box one day, and it fitted that, it sort of filled that space quite nicely, so it's sort of stayed there ever since. Anyway, let's have a little bit of a closer look up at the rocket, shall we? We've been going for about half an hour. Is this going to be the point where, yes, rocket has stalled on the Insul frog points. Yes, all right. Hand of God coming in just to give a little bit of... There we go. Right. Apologies for that. We'll have it running in. Yeah, this layout is particularly cruel because all of the points on it are Insul frog points. Not only that, they are Insul frog points from a previous layout. So some of them were even second hand then. So they're second or third hand points. And yeah, they're from about 30 years ago or 25 years ago or something like that. So yeah, they're not in the best condition. But it's quite handy for testing locos on, because it means if a loco can get over a rubbish Insul frog point like this, then it can usually handle anything. So yeah, Angus Trains asks what I'm using to live stream. I'm using OBS, Open Broadcast Software, I believe it's called. It's just it's like a free streaming software. It takes a bit of it takes a bit of time to get used to it, but I sort of do live streaming as part of my job in a way. I say job, it's not really a job, it's fun, but you know, do what you love and all that. So I use OBS, and I've just got various cameras set up. If anyone wants to know specifically what cameras and stuff I'm using, it's all a bit of a mishmash, but I'll happily go into the technical details if anyone wants to be bored to death. So yeah, here we go. That is the rocket there. And I think we'll leave it there to admire for a bit, shall we? And while it's sat there, I'll just take this this J15. We'll just move this out of the way for a bit. There we go. That's just sort of moving off nice and slowly there. Chris House says evening. Hello Chris. Nice to see you, or virtually, I suppose, at least. I can't actually see you, so don't worry about that. And there we go. That is the J15 making a hasty exit from Pickwick Yard. And yeah, I absolutely do have a dodgy point in the fiddle yard today, because I'm having to move everything about by hand in here, which is not great. I wonder if I've got a bit of dust or something caught on the point blades. That'll teach me, won't it? Using Insul frog points, how dare you? I'm sure there'll be someone who is, you know, goes off on a rant about electrofrog points, but to be honest, I can never be bothered to do all, you know, complicated wiring stuff. It's anyway, instead of moving on to, we'll have a look at rocket again, shall we? And I shall check the chat. Ian says I'm coming through great. Oh, fantastic. Okay, well, good. Nice to know. We'll run this back into the other siding, shall we? I know you can't see it now, but if we do that, it's sort of running across, and ooh, and there we go. It's kind of in shot there. I wonder if we can get that to focus a little bit better. If I move it, does that focus? Or actually, tell you what, maybe we shouldn't leave it in. Oh no, tell you what, we will focus it just for a bit. Go on, is that going to focus? No, it doesn't want to focus. Right, okay, never mind then. We'll run that back slightly so that it's sort of half in shot, and then you can still see what's going on in the background as well. Well, normally around this sort of point, I'd ask if there's any engines that people want to see running, but I've already done the rocket, and I haven't got much else that I haven't run yet. At least not to hand anyway, because I'm sort of running on a bit of a minimalist stock here, as I say, because everything's sort of all over the place at the moment, with railways being moved around and multiple railways being built. And well, I say multiple railways, it's not really a multiple railway, but anyway, Hand of God coming in again. There we go. What shall I do now? Tell you what, we'll run this loco in, because this is a nice one. Although, of course, as I say that, this point in the fiddle yard is being very annoying today, and I do not know why. No, I'm having to push this all the way. And it's, oh, do you know what would actually help if I switch the controller on? Oh, here's me pushing it along, thinking that it's not working, and it's actually because I've got the thing, I've got the power up, but I've not got it switched to a direction. So this is a bit of a mystery loco at the moment. I know you can't really see it properly on the screen at the moment, but don't worry, I'll give you a close-up look of it in a second. It's another very, very nice loco. Oh, actually, I've just seen it on the replay. You can't actually see what it is, so there's the surprise gone. Yeah. Oh well, there's no point in beating about the bush. Then we might as well run it back into shot, and you can see it for yourselves. No, actually, it's got a bit of buffer lock on the. Right, is it going to run on its own now? Here it comes, just into shot now. Yes, here we go. It's the J36. Is it the J36? It is the J36, isn't it? Oh, kind of overshot the points there a little bit, but we'll bring it back down into this line instead for a bit, shall we? Yeah, this is another really good runner. It is the J36, isn't it? It's not the J35. I've not got my numbers wrong again. As you can tell, I'm certainly not an expert by any means. Oh, hello, Foxhill Railway. Good to see you in the chat there. Ian says, sorry, he has to go. Oh, fantastic. No worries, Ian. Thank you for stopping by. And yeah, thank you for joining and being interactive in the chat with us. And yeah, I hope everyone's having a good time and enjoying. What's everybody up to tonight? Are you just having a bit of a chill out while you're relaxing and watching some model trains? Is anyone running their layout at the same time? Are we having multiple running sessions going on at the same time? Or is anyone doing a bit of modelling work? Yeah, let me know what you guys are doing in the chat if you feel like it. There's no pressure, of course. And we'll take a close-up look at the J36. I'm going to keep calling it the J36 until someone corrects me. Like the J15, this is another fantastic runner. Really, really good. And I've got this one in the sort of the LNER lined livery, which supposedly isn't too popular, or rather, it's not a particularly good seller. I don't know. They seem to be on discount a lot of the time, which I sort of take to means that they're not doing that well. But I really quite like it. I think it's quite different, a little bit different. Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, I wonder if I presume. Well, I'm seeing there's LNER 1946 in the chat. I'm presuming he knows more about LNER engines than I do. So maybe if there are any other LNER experts in the chat, they'll be able to tell me why this was in the what the lined LNER livery was used for. Is it goods locos? I'm not entirely sure. I know this is a sort of a Scottish loco. Am I right in saying that? I don't know. Yeah. Maybe I'll just stop before I embarrass myself. Chris House says, how many locos have I got in my fleet? That's a difficult one. I would say probably about 30 engines that I've collected over the course of about as many years. Many of those have been in the last few years as stuff as Benton Rose says it's a C-class. Oh, is this a C-class then? Have I got this completely wrong? I thought the C-class was made by Bachmann and was a Southern engine, or am I getting my 060s mixed up again? I don't know. I know that I love an 060 tender engine in black. It's very nice. Okay. So it says Benton Rose, or it says all the J36. They're both the same, right? Okay, that's confusing then. So there's a Bachmann C-class, which is a Southern engine, and then there's Hornby's J36, which was also called a C-class in some cases. Okay, no, that's fine. My tiny brain can just about handle that, I think. Brilliant. What was I talking about? Oh yes. So yeah, I've got about 30 engines, I reckon. But a lot of them are fairly. I mean, a lot of them are sort of like from the 90s or the early 2000s. you know, I sort of probably like a lot of people started off with a Thomas the Tank engine when I was very, very young. I think that was the very first engine I was given as a Christmas present, I believe, for my 4th birthday, many, 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 many years ago now. And we'll just switch back to the Rocket briefly. Actually, I was going to run this out of this siding, but I've just realised that I can't do that because it will hit the J36. So in that case, let's say goodbye to the J36 for a bit, and we'll go back to that camera, and we'll run this out, and then we'll move the. Sorry, again, this is such a good runner that when you touch the control and it doesn't move because it's geared so slowly, you think nothing's happening. And there we go. Fox Hill Railway says that bird's eye box wagon looks mint. Does that mean it's good? I'm assuming that's a good sign. Yes, I'm sort of surprised by that, to be honest. That's one of my oldest wagons, so that is a proper. I think actually I don't even know if that was. I have a feeling that was one that I was sort of inherited second hand from sort of various donations along the way. A lot of my stuff I sort of inherited from my granddad. I don't know if he ever actually had a model railway, but he certainly had lots of model railway bits and pieces, which has certainly proved handy for me because it now means that I've inherited all of that stuff. Anyway, here's the Rocket again. I do know that he has a rocket, or he had a rocket somewhere. One of the old ones, the ones from the original Triang ones. I want to say, were they made by Triang? I believe they were. Oh, I've just crashed it into the buffers now, which isn't great. Ooh. All the collectors will be. Oh, that's not good, is it? Oh, sorry, my controller is playing up a bit. Right, there we go. Yeah, the Rocket is very nice. It doesn't do slow running particularly well, and I imagine I've just made several collectors wince several times. So, Fox Hill says yes, mint is good. Okay, right, good. See, I'm I may be younger than your average train enthusiast, but certainly not. I presume I'm probably more senile than most of them. So we shall. Right, what shall we run next? We'll get another J94 out, shall we? And collect those wagons that are sort of lounging around in the background of that shot. Hello, Theru. He says the Rocket is fast. Yes, it is. Wasn't that fast in real life? I imagine. Right. Here we go. Let's switch to that shot, and then we'll bring another. I won't bring out the same J94 that I did, or austerity as I did before. There we go. We'll give you the National Coal Board one, which you may have seen featured in last Sunday's video with the Peckett, with the B2 Peckett, which is very nice. That's just running into the background of this shot now. Collect those wagons. Yeah, I think I said this on the last live stream I did as well. Is that these Hornby austerities? They may be originally from the 80s, but they're damn good runners. I'll be honest. To be honest, yeah, they're very, and they're not actually that bad looking for their age. I mean, I know there's that new one out from it was the original DJM. Yeah, it was originally DJM made it, and now that they've gone under, it's been taken over by EFE, who are technically Bachmann, but it's just for other stuff that isn't under the Bachmann range. Yeah, there's a whole thing there. But anyway, the point that I was going to make was that it's not a massive improvement over the Hornby's current offering. I mean, obviously, it's got DCC capability, and it is much more fine, refined and everything. But that said, the Hornby one doesn't look awful in comparison. And I mean, I do like my J94s / austerities. So yeah, I'm sort of resisting trying not to get another one because I have far too many. I really don't need another one. Right, what am I going to do now? I sort of feel like I've run everything. I wonder if I should take some of these wagons. Yeah, I'll replace some of these wagons and do something different. You can't see it, but in the fiddle yard, I've got my little cassette system with the Pico Loco lift, as per the video that I made the other week, a couple of weeks ago now, I think that was. Theory says, what's the difference between a J94 Loco and an austerity saddle tank? Well, we got into this on the last live stream back at the beginning of the summer, and basically we came to the conclusion, or rather the chat told me or informed me, that there is no difference really. Or I think there's something to do with the bunker. The J94 is what the LNER classed this type of engine as, but it was made by, I want to say, Hunslet. That may be completely wrong. Maybe they just made them. Anyway, the Austerity 060 was just the general name for it. The LNER was what they were classed as by the LNER, and I think there's some slight differences between the bunker. But what those differences, I think it's like a higher bunker or something like that. I do have one of the J94 variants somewhere, but not with me today. Yeah, that said, I think Hornby just call it a J94 regardless of whether it's an austerity or not. Because as I say, the vast majority of the ones that I've actually got, and I believe the vast majority of the ones that are preserved as well are actually austerities, not J94s. As I say, this is all like half remembered from conversations that I had on the last live stream, so I can't really remember what it is that I'm talking about. Again, I'm just trying to run I'll try and run the Ruston in again. Theory says, oh, well, that makes sense. Oh, I'm glad it makes sense to you, at least. Tom Ward says, yeah, J94. At least I assume that's how he's saying it. Or maybe he's just saying that, yes, it is the J94. There we go. There's the Ruston again with a little bit of a van. Tell you what, we shall move. Right, don't want to damage the rocket anymore. We'll try and get that just out of the way so you can see them both. Fox Hill Railway says, nice to see how much play you can have with a micro layout. Yes, I mean, certainly. I'm really not doing anything in particular here. I'm just sort of shuttling engines backwards and forwards, and sort of, you know, seeing how entertained I can keep you all. But it seems to be working for the most part. So yeah, so we'll send Rocket off for the moment. I think Rocket has had plenty of screen time, so we'll send him out back to the fiddle yard, and I'm going to take him off the track very, very carefully. I don't know why I called Rocket a he instead of she, as you usually do with locos. I don't know. Something about Rocket makes me think it's a he. Oh, and off the Ruston guard, I didn't even notice that I'd done that, but that's good because that's what I was going to do with it anyway. It's almost like I planned it. Anyway, we're going to go for about another 10 minutes. We'll go until 9 o'clock. And hopefully then you'll have had your fill of model railway stuff for tonight. But yeah, do definitely check out this video that's coming up on Sunday. Sunday at 10 AM, there'll be a brand new video out talking about a brand new layout. And yes, I'm very excited for that one. I'm just going to try and get this into the shot without hitting the buffers. Very nice. There we go. Theory says the security cameras are what we're looking through. Yes, yes. So it is very like sort of having security cameras, isn't it? You know, I did have an idea for a video of doing something like a security camera, of like a working day of Pickwick Yard, and just all from one shot. But then I thought it would actually be probably quite boring in a way. You wouldn't get to see nice close-ups of the engine at all, and it would all be one shot. So I sort of scrapped that idea, and I just continue doing my usual running sessions instead. I'll run this back. Actually, I wasn't going to do that. I was going to We'll just run that forward a bit. Oh, there we go. Hand God coming in again. Sorry. We'll run the Ruston through the shot. Can we get it through nice and slowly over the insel frog point? Yes, we can. I do love this Ruston. Very, very nice. Here we go. Just coming into this siding now, into the little head shunt area. Oh, we've got the camera to focus there briefly for a moment. That was nice. Tell you what, I wonder if we run it forward again, if it'll focus on the Ruston. Yeah, we've just, yeah, it's just about focused on the Ruston. I know that's not the best shot of it. You're looking at its backside, but, you know, it's the best I can do under the circumstances, I'm afraid. Right, we'll run the P-class in again, shall we? Because it's a nice little engine. And it's a good runner, so at least I know that it will perform well. Here it comes. You can just see it in the background of the shot there now. Here it is coming into the yard. Benton Road says, "Looking good, mate." Yes, it is. It's really interesting how well a layout can sort of come together just with, you know, a few bits and pieces. I mean, this layout really isn't all that complicated. It's set track on an old shelf with some Metcalfe flat pack buildings. Benton Rose says, "By the way, rude of me not to ask what's your name." My name is Joseph. Hello, everybody. I'm a bit weird though. When I spell my name Joseph, I spell it with an F to be difficult, or rather, my parents gave me an F instead of the standard PH. So it's very annoying whenever I end up having to fill out forms or anything like that, or you know, tell people my name. It's slightly annoying, but at least it's slightly unique. Right, so I'm just gonna uncouple the P-class so we can get a nice look at it. Yes, as I said earlier on, I don't have my invisible uncouplers, my little strips of plastic card, but that video has done incredibly well. That's kind of sort of really given the channel a boost, if I'm honest. Like, it's really kind of taken off. I think it's got something like 2,500 views at this point. It's got a silly amount of views, which is not something I ever expected. Hand of God, here we go. There we go. And we've got to do that one as well. We'll run the P-class back in now. Benton Road says, "Sounds Russian." Yes, it's Polish technically. My grandfather was Polish. Not the grandfather who was interested in trains, my other grandfathers. So one was Polish, the other was interested in trains. I think that the technical Polish/Russian spelling is Jozef, but my dad put his foot down at the Z and said the F was enough, so I spell it Josef. But it's quite handy because I work in a business where it's quite useful having a unique sounding name, or at least a unique name of sorts. Oh, I've just realised I've not switched the camera over to the P-class. There you go. You can have a look at that. Great. So we've got about another 5 or 6 minutes left. If you've got any pressing questions that you really want to ask, then do feel free to get them in before I finish off. Fox Hill Railway says, "The wagons are great, really interesting, or really interest me too." Yeah, I mean, these wagons, they're nothing special. They're just like old Hornby ones from like the 80s, I think. Apart from the Dapple ones, which are built, which if you didn't see my recent video, I did a video on building a Dapple wagon kit, which is also done rather well. Actually, I'm quite pleased with how that one came out, because I thought it was going to be a bit of a disaster. If I'm honest, I thought I'm going to try and build something on stream or on camera for the first time. It'll probably go horribly wrong. But yeah, this is the wagon I was talking about. This is the very one that I built on the stream. So you can see it in the shot now. And yeah, it's not come out too badly, if I'm honest. And the engine has stalled on the insel frog points. Can we get it going? There we go. So yeah, it's the Dapple kits are really really nice actually. I must try to do a few more of them. Well, I've done a few more of these mineral wagons because I wanted to have a rake of them. The whole reason I did the kits was I wanted to have a rake of mineral wagons to run because I've got a few sort of I've got quite a lot of industrial locos. You might have noticed. Certainly if you've been watching my channel recently, but yeah, I wanted to sort of have a rake of 16-ton mineral wagons, sort of in this in this grey with the white stripe down the side, and yeah, I realised you can get like a pack of 3 of them for like 50 quid or something, which I don't know, it just seemed like a lot to me. So I wanted to see before I spent all that money if I could get away with building my own, because I think these Dapple wagon kits are like 5 quid, maybe a bit more. They're maybe more like 6 or 7 once you take into account postage as well. Yes, they are very nice, and they're very old kits. Don't get me wrong. I think they're originally Airfix kits or something like that. Yeah, it's they've come out very nicely, and I'm sort of pleased with how they look. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters, isn't it? It's my railway. I run what I want. That kind of rule one sort of mentality. And if it looks all right to me, then it looks all right. It's good enough for me. Of course, I also want to make sure that it's good enough for you guys as well. I want to make sure that you guys get to see what I can do, or not see what I can do. That sounds a bit like showing off, but I want to make sure it's presented well enough for you guys to remain interested in it as well. As I say, remaining interested in things. We've got the P class. This will just leave the shop now and head back into the yard. So yeah, I think gradually we'll just sort of start to slow things away. Now we've got about 3 minutes left before the end of the live stream. But yeah, it's been wonderful having you all here tonight. I haven't really been looking to see how many people we've had watching, but it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Theory says you could probably get away with having this attached to a loop of track and calling it the shunting yard of the loop. Yes, that's actually not a bad idea, to be honest. That's certainly if I was desperate to have another layout of some sort, that's what I would do. I would sort of expand this one. I sort of like keeping this sort of self-contained though, as a sort of a mini, a micro layout, I guess, is sort of what I built this as. So that said, I have had thoughts about extending this, which I may well do in the future. It's not something I'm going to be doing in any hurry. There we go, there's the Ruston moving again for you. He says, the bird's eye wagon just got squashed up between the buffer stop. Yes, I'm always doing that. Do you know what it is? It's because I'm standing at completely the opposite end of the layout and I can't actually see the buffers from where I am. So, and then the other problem is that I keep doing it through the little window, through the cameras. I can get those back to my computer screen here. But there's a very slight delay, and so by the time I stop it, it's already crashed into the buffers. So, but I hadn't actually noticed that one, so thank you for letting me know. But yes, if you are interested in seeing bigger layouts and stuff, that's going to be coming very, very, very soon. Like I say, the video on Sunday is the start of a brand new layout. I'm very excited about this one. It's going to be a big project. There we go. Right. So we'll just run the Ruston out, and then we shall run the J94 out as well. Or the austerity. We won't start that argument again. Where is it? It's here. There we go. Right. I'll make sure I get a good shot of this as it leaves, because I know that you're gonna want to see it leaving. Yes, don't worry. I'm aware about the wheel. I'm gonna take it quite slowly. There we go. It's all worked. Fox Hill Rower says, good night, great stream. Thank you, Fox Hill, that's fantastic. Thank you for joining us tonight. And yeah, thank you to everybody who's been joining us tonight, whether you've been in the chat or not. It's been great to have you here. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed as well, whether you're a new subscriber or whether you've been subscribed for a while now, or whether you haven't. If you haven't subscribed yet, then please do subscribe. It really does help the channel out. You wouldn't believe it. I think something like only 20% of my viewers actually subscribe to the channel. So yeah, So thank you everybody for watching. I'll give you sort of one last look at the layout in this sort of multiple shot here. Oh, I've just realised that camera's a bit off centre there. Right. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. It's been wonderful to hang out with you. Hopefully we'll do some more of these again sometime soon. Who knows? Maybe for 800 subscribers or even 1,000 if we make it that far. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining me. Fox Hero always says knock the like button. Oh, thank you for liking the thank you for liking the video, and yeah, thank you just generally for everyone who supports this channel. I didn't really think anyone would be interested in seeing me play trains, but it seems that there are a few of you out there who do enjoy this. So yeah, thank you for everybody who has been watching the live stream. Tim White has just said, "Oh bugger, I just missed it." Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that, Tim. We started at 8 and we're finishing now that it's 9. But don't worry, you can go back and watch the live stream. It will be available to watch on repeat. I don't know if it's available right away. That depends on how YouTube sort of process it and everything, but it should be available immediately, or you could just rewind. You subbed like a week ago. Oh, fantastic. Oh, thank you so much for subscribing, Tim. Yeah, like I say, if you haven't already, do go subscribe to the channel and like and click the bell notification and do all those things that annoying YouTubers ask you to do. But believe me, the only reason we ask you to do it is because it then means that the videos actually show up and you get to see more stuff from us. So if no one takes an interest in our stuff, then we just sort of slowly get buried and you never hear from us again. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, everybody. We've gone a little bit over, but I'm not too worried. Yeah, I hope you're excited for Sunday's video. I'm very excited, and I know also the videos that are coming up as well. So of course I do, because I'm the one who makes them. But anyway, there's lots of cool stuff coming soon. So yeah, thank you so much for subscribing, everybody. Thank you for helping me to get to 500 subscribers, and yeah, 600 subscribers looks like it's just around the corner as well. So thank you so much for watching, everybody, and good night.